Hi everybody, hello again, and it's boxing week again. Yeah, so last weekend we saw some pretty good fights. Yeah, not gonna go there now, but yeah, this next weekend also promises to be good because we have several pretty exciting matchups, and now let's go to the first of them, which is already on Wednesday, only 2 days away, and it's in a Plant City in United States, White Sands Event Center, well, where Angelo Leo, former, wasn't he former? Yeah, he was the former WBO bantamweight champion, who is now featherweight, is fighting against Eduardo Baez. Yes. So, yeah, Leo made a successful debut as a featherweight actually in late January, so it wasn't that long ago. He knocked out Mike Plania in 3 rounds, so that's why he's fighting already again. Yeah, Angelo El Chinito Leo. And Eduardo Baez, I don't really know much about him or anything, to be honest. I see he's fought a few. Yeah, he was knocked out by Emmanuel Navarrete in 22, right? For the WBO featherweight title, that fight. Mm. Yeah, so let's see the tail of the tape. Both guys are almost equal in age. Leo is slightly older, 29. Baez is 28. Baez is the taller man, however, by 3 inches, but only an inch reach advantage for Baez. And both guys are orthodox, not southpaws. Yeah, I mean, of course, on paper, Leo is the stronger, the favorite to win this fight. And Baez, however, has been fighting as a featherweight a little longer, even though he also used to be a super bantamweight, actually. Yeah. And but he never really, he lost all his biggest fights, and yeah, so that's why there is shouldn't be expected that he wins this one either. This is a 10 round fight, and Angelo Leo Borleo is he's just a very solid guy, offensive fighter. He got outboxed by, of course, Stephen Fulton, but that's the only time he has lost so far. But it was just say a bad stylistical match for Leo, obviously. Yeah. So I think probably Leo will, of course he should win this fight, but I don't know if Baez, he's only been stopped, yeah, by Navarrete. So that's going to be a tall order stopping him for Leo. But it is possible. Yeah, I mean, however, I don't think Baez is still yet, past his prime, so he shouldn't be. And yeah, so anyway, I think Leo wins anyway, either by on points or by knockout. I don't want to go for any of those, but I don't want to be too specific. But anyway, Leo wins. All right, next fight is between let's see, it was Jordan Gill, yeah, and Zelfa Barrett. This is a really interesting one. So Jordan Gill, he really bounced back greatly after losing really in a devastating fashion to Kiko Martinez, but he came back to knock out Michael Conlon in what was a really impressive performance. And now He's facing another domestic rival, let's say, yeah, is Alpha Barrett, who's got, pretty, you know, enough experience anyway. 32 fights, 30 he has won, 2 he has lost. Jordan Gill also has 2 losses and 1 draw and 28 wins, and only 9 by knockout. However, Jordan Gill has shown that he can hit. That's not the thing. That's not why he doesn't have that many knockouts. But I guess he just didn't always know how to use his power, punching power, how to maximize it, and the knockout he pulled against what was his name, Karim Gerfi, I believe. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. A one punch knockout. He was headed, for disaster, and then he turned it all around with one punch. So wow, yeah, right to the chin. That was in 22. And then later that year, he was really blown away by Martinez. He was just too powerful for him. And then, last year in December, he stops Michael Conlan in 7 rounds. So I think now, he's headed towards a world title fight, especially if he wins this fight. And Zelfa Barrett, he was stopped by Rakimov, but he did well early on in that fight. He didn't put Rakimov down once, but eventually Rakimov just came back and broke him down, and I watched that fight live, so I remember it very well. So before that, he actually holds a victory over Kiko Martinez, but that was on points in 21. Yeah, so yeah, that was his biggest win, of course, by far. Other than that, he has no really, marquee wins. Let's say I recognize one name. This was a fight at lightweight or even against Viorel Simeon, who was kind of, used to be a semi-contender anyway. So this will be a very entertaining fight, very good one. Again, just like Gill's last fight and the Gerfi fight. And yeah, who wins? A little hard to say. However, I think the thing is, Barrett has long arms. He's got really long arms for his height and for his for being a featherweight, super featherweight. I mean, sorry, and that can prove to be decisive. However, he's proven shown one flaw that he isn't always consistent. Like against Rakimov, he did very well early on. Even seemed to have him on the verge of stoppage, like in the 4th round, I believe. But then he wasn't able to knock him out, and then Rakimov just came back and just, let's say, dismantled him, and yeah. So if this happens again, I expect Barrett again to empty his guns early on, and probably he will stagger Gill at least once. But Gill seems like a man reborn now. Like he has gotten a lot of confidence now, and strength of spirit that can really help. He's got tremendous heart, and but still, I don't know if that will be enough here. We will see anyway. I don't know really what it is. Is a pretty even match, I would say. However, Gill is coming off a pretty big victory, even though Michael Conlan, you might argue, was already after the Lee Wood fight has been kind of shot or shock worn, because that was a devastating knockout, and it obviously took quite a lot out of him, and ended his prime. But still, Conlan was a good fighter still when he faced Gill, and early on he did well, and I mean, yeah, but Gill just came back and destroyed him. So I believe Jordan Gill can win this definitely. If he does win, I think maybe even that could be by a knockout because he seems to win in a dramatic fashion. That's his style. While Barrett is more like a very composed, or I mean, guy who doesn't really win always by a knockout unless it is whatever, some kind of opponent that's not that great. Yeah, I mean his biggest wins have all been by uh, you know almost all anyway by on points by decision. Yes, so what I expect, I don't know, man. This one is pretty hard, but I think either guy can win, of course. However, Gill, I would favor to win either by a stoppage in like I don't know 8, 9, 10 rounds or on points. So that's my prediction. All right, and then finally Jared Anderson is fighting against Riyad Merhy in a very interesting fight at heavyweight, 10 rounds. So Riyad Merhy is coming off a win, his greatest wins, of course, by far, when he beat Tony Yoka. Yeah, that was, I guess, last year, sometime late last year. Yeah, and Riyad Merhy used to be a cruiserweight. He's not a big heavyweight at all. Yeah, this was in December the 9th. He lost to Kevin Lorena and Arsen Goulamirian. That was at cruiserweight for a WBA title. He was stopped late there by Goulamirian and lost to Lorena in a heavyweight fight on points. So, but yeah, he is proven to be pretty dodgy as a fighter. He's got quite a lot of experience now. He's 31 years old and he's only 5'11", but he's a pretty capable fighter and you know can hit pretty hard and yeah. Um, he's only had 3 heavyweight fights so far, but 2 of them are really high on high level, you might say. And Jared Anderson, of course, is the big deal here, big favorite. He's 24 years old and 6'4" and 78-inch reach, and he's coming off a victory, a stoppage victory over a solid fighter who was no longer in his prime, but still, Andrei Rudenko, and he beat Charles Martin and Jerry Forrest and a few other guys that were not totally unknown, but this is a really, I think, his first true test. Yeah, it will be interesting how he does against the guy who is shorter, more mobile, faster, cagier, just, but a strong guy still. Yeah, Merhy. I think, of course, I do expect Anderson to win this fight, but I can see it being a harder fight for him still, and yeah, it's just. I mean, of course, Anderson is the betting favorite here. I see, of course, that's not a surprise, and. Yeah, it will be hard for Merhy to get a decision for sure here, and it doesn't seem like. I mean, I did say he's a pretty hard hitter, but that was at cruiserweight. At heavyweight, I don't know really if he is, but we will see. Anyway, Anderson will probably win this fight, but I don't know if he can stop Merhy. Maybe not, and yeah. I think probably this will go the distance. If he does stop him, it will be a statement, definitely, by Anderson. Yes, yes, definitely. So, yeah, there you have it. I think Anderson wins. Yeah, but you never know, of course, but I would be surprised if Merhy won this fight because, also as a guy coming from Belgium, a foreigner, it's a little hard to get a decision over a favored American in America, these days. So I think pretty much you all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Anderson probably will win on points. Yeah, maybe like a later stoppage, maybe, but I'm not really counting on that. I'm not expecting. And Ajagba also, Efe Ajagba is fighting Guido Vianello on the undercard. I mean, both guys are really big. 6'5" Ajagba and 6'6" Vianello. I thought I saw 6'6" for Ajagba somewhere as well. But anyway, Ajagba, he's has improved. I mean, yeah, definitely he has. And after losing to Frank Sanchez in a really convincing fashion, and has scored a couple of good wins since then. And Guido Vianello, I'm not really sold on him. He was stopped by Jonathan Rice, even though it was a cut. But still, yeah, he's just looks like a guy who he has won his last fight in one round, but that was against some unknown guy, Moses Johnson. So yeah, I think Ajagba will win this fight, maybe even by a knockout. Yeah, yeah, probably. So yeah, that will be all for this time. All right, take it easy and enjoy the fights. See you. Bye.